kind of dark Gothic and horror host bent to them, and that's the kind of thing I did. So it was very much like I'm talking about now, which I wish Elvira and some of the others would do, which, at that point, you don't even need to hang it on hosting a horror movie. There's so many fun skits and things that you can do. You can just go out and do your own show, which is essentially what I did, because most of the shows were 30 minutes long. That was our slot. And then occasionally we would do an hour special, and then beyond that, we would also several times we had gone out live, and we did this thing called the All Night Realm thing, and we were on for several hours live on air and taking phone calls and having people come down and win prizes, and they would come in and claim them live on the air and things like that. It was great fun. It was really, really great fun, and I am astonished and very, very, very grateful that all these years later I still run into people that remember the show so fondly. These years later.
Now, yeah. I got to ask you a question. When you were calling up somebody about their grip, would you say, "Hey, now is this a new grip or a used one? Is it haunted? Is there any stains on the marble or anything?" I mean, you could really, I could see it. You could have a lot of fun.
So we did. You had to go look at that conversation in that show, and we did. We just it was kind of a stream of consciousness. But I had a few questions, and I asked her, and we talked to her about it, and even got into why is it up for sale like that, because it seems to be an item. It's like you're not necessarily gonna sell something like that, but she had come out and talked about how they were moving and they wanted to sell the plots, and I guess you're assuming they're gonna buy some elsewhere somewhere, so they were so it was really interesting, but she was very nice, and she had a very good humor about it.
Hey, James.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not even going to tell you. I'll tell you off air.
Oh, no.
That's no problem. I'm going to tell you off the air. Yes, I'm going to tell you later tonight.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Don't we all want to hear this now? Now you make me curious.
Yeah. I know.
No, it's a no problem. It's no problem at all.
We want to know.
Yeah, I don't know. This is not my real voice, by the way.
Sure.
No, this is not my real voice. No, this is my real voice, right here.
Your real.
Yes, that's what. I had to go. I had to go to a speech school to learn to talk American.
You really sound like Ronnie Reagan.
The Great American Finishing School. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. I was born in Kakistan at the nudist colony.
Oh gee.
I used to play saxophone. I played in the Sex Quartet.
Very nice.
Yes.
Talented.
Very nice.
Yes.
It's taken me years to learn how to not do my British accent and just talk in an American accent. It's just taken me years and years and years to get around that myself. I had to go to finishing school.
Did you? It's funny. When I moved to North Carolina for a short period of my life when I was young, in my first marriage, everybody kept saying I had an accent. And I would sit there and say, "What do you mean I have an accent? You're the one that has an accent. I have no accent. I'm from the West Coast, dude. You have the accent. No, you actually have an accent. Yeah, okay."
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
To somebody else, everybody has an accent to somebody else. If you're the one that came in from somewhere else, you're the dude with the accent,
Yeah. Here we're almost out of time. Again, Dark Realm is available on Amazon Prime, and some of your other movies. Where are they available at?
You can find them. Some of the other ones too. There's a movie called The Thirsting, and I have a smaller role in that, but it's really fun, and that's a cool movie. That is on Amazon Prime right now, as is Arkham Sanitarium Soul Eater, and that is based on H.P. Lovecraft lore, as well as the found footage genre. It kind of is a send-up of that. It parodies that. And so you get some H.P. Lovecraft and found footage genre, and that's a really interesting combination. So Arkham Sanitarium Soul-Eater is out there. I do you won't see me in it, but you'll hear me in it. I do the voice of the creature in BioSlime, which is actually right now on Tubi TV. It's one of the ad-based platforms that you can find through your Roku box and elsewhere. But on Tubi TV, BioSlime, which is also made by John Lachago. And if you can find it out there, I'm not sure if it's up there. I thought it was on Amazon again, but I'm not sure if it's still up or not. But Magus, and I star in Magus, and Magus is a really good movie. I mean, it's one of my very, very favorites. And if you can find, do a search and find Magus, take a look at that, because that's a really good movie.
Well, Ron Fitzgerald, I want to thank you for coming back on Night Dreams Talk Radio. And
thank you.
Yeah. Ted instant messaged me here about a half an hour ago. Have you ever had the string break with all those razor blades in your mouth?
Ooh, ouch.
No, not on stage. I haven't. I've had, in rehearsals and some other things, I had a little trouble with it, but I have not, thank the goddess, had any trouble with the string on that on stage. No.
Okay, Ron. Well, I want to thank you for coming back on, my friend. And, I want to wish you the very best.
Thank you. Yeah, happy 2020 to both of you, and to you, Gary, and happy birthday tomorrow. And, and happy New Year to everyone out listening. Thanks for listening. You can also find me at my home on the interwebs. Is FitzgeraldRealm.com. You can go and find information about me and you can find Dark Realm on DVD in the store there and sign up on the email list there. But FitzgeraldRealm.com and just Happy New Year. I think it's gonna be a fun, interesting year. Can't you feel it? I mean, doesn't 2020 feel like even more of the future now? I mean, we've been in the 21st century for 20 years now, but doesn't it really feel like we're there now?
I don't know. It kind of reminds me of the 1920s, the Roaring 20s. So I'm just wondering
if talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah. As long as we don't go into the 30s and go into a recession. Anyway, Ron, you take care, my friend.
Yeah.
See you, Ron.
Thank you very much. Thanks so much.
Take care, my friend.
Bye-bye.
Right, thanks, Gary. All right. You got it, guys. Thanks. Night and hello.
So anyway, that was Ron Fitzgerald. I'll tell you what. Great guy. And you know what? Being able to even sit and talk to Elvira, he just won a whole bunch of points right there with me.
I knew he did because I know you like Elvira. I think she's about your age.
Yeah, but I tell you what, she looks a lot better. Yeah. Can you imagine wearing a steel bra?
No, I couldn't imagine wearing any bra, much less a steel one, to be honest with you.
Well, I know a lot of men, when they start getting around my age, they should wear a bra. I tell you that.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those floating around myself. Luckily, I don't need a bra yet, so I'm knock on wood on that one. And if I do, I'm not going to go too metal, I don't think.
Well, I don't know. Just could imagine it rusting. But anyway, tomorrow we have, Mark Cushman on, and we're going to be talking about the original Star Trek and more. And it's going to be a good show. He wrote a series of books about Star Trek, but he had permission by Gene Roddenberry. In fact, Gene Roddenberry supplied him with all the notes of making of the original Star Trek series. The notes, between the director, producer, the actors, and the network, and why it got canceled. A lot of people don't realize Star Trek bankrupted Desilu, the studios. Lucille Ball, Desi Arnaz, they had their own film studio, and when they were talked about Star Trek, she jumped onto it. And, everybody, the board of directors told her, no, this is going to be too expensive. It'll bankrupt you. And she all she could think about is that it'll be a show that'll live forever. Like Lucille Ball's show has lived forever. You still see it on cable TV and local TV. I mean, and they were, a lot of people don't realize that they were so far ahead of their time when they were filming the Lucille Ball show. Okay, that they were the first ones ever to use film all of it was done by that kinescope or whatever it was, cinescope, whatever it was. And that's when you look at those shows, they kind of look funky and stuff like that. They filmed it. Desi figured, well, we'll use film, and then we can sell the rights later on for reruns. And the network thought they were crazy. Well, who's going to want to watch reruns of a show? That it tells you how far advanced they were in thinking about TV. Up to then, no one ever thought about reruns. So they use film to do the show. Hence, that's why we have reruns of, Lucille Ball. And when she came out with the idea of, doing the Star Trek one, like I said, the board of directors said, no, this will bankrupt you. Because remember, they were doing Mission Impossible. She was doing that. And she was doing another one, very costly shows to produce for TV. And that's what happened. And then she lost the studio. And then the new, the studio took it over, cut the budget down big time to, for Star Trek. And that's what killed it. The networks wanted to continue on Star Trek. A lot of people thought, it was canceled because no one was watching it. Far from it. Was one of the top-rated shows. But it was one of the most, at the time, very expensive shows to produce. Well, next to I Spy, you remember Robert Culp and Bill Crosby? I know Bill Crosby in prison. But, that was probably one at the time, the most expensive TV shows to ever make. You remember ever watching I Spy?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'd still watch those once in a while when I get them at the library.
Yeah, they traveled the world. They filmed it on location. They used first to use wireless microphones. They would have a guy in a cardboard box in Hong Kong with a little hole in it for the camera lens, and the temperature would be hot, and the guy would be filming Bill Crosby and Robert Culp walking down doing their little thing with a wireless microphone. And then the guy would pass out from being in that box and heated. But they did a lot of things that they'd never done in TV before. And I tell you, that's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow.
Yeah, Mark's got a lot of behind-the-scenes information that a lot of people don't know, and that's what's fascinating when he comes on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and on top of it, he when he describes this stuff, it just drives you right into the show. It makes you understand a lot more. It makes you understand how a hard working actor, William Shatner was. And he's like you mentioned the other day, he wants to go to space at 88 years old.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
The guy, and he doesn't care if he survives it or not. At 88 years old, your time is like ticking. But you know what? He told people, even back when they were doing Star Trek, he would push himself. He would be sick with the flu, and he would be doing scenes for the show, to make it, where anybody else would have just went home. He has a philosophy that long as you're active and push yourself, you're going to live. And that's, he still rides a bicycle. He rides a motorcycle at 88 years old. He rides a horse on a daily or weekly basis. I mean, at 88 years old, he's going... I know a lot of people on my age who couldn't even think about riding a horse, let alone ride a motorcycle or any of the other stuff that this guy does.
Right. And, Mark told one time about they were filming Star Trek, and he was so sick that, I think he passed out right after the scene. He was so kept on going,
Yeah, because he wanted to complete it and not call it quits. I mean, he's the guy, let's face it. Some of the actors on Star Trek didn't like him. They thought he was arrogant. Maybe he was. But you know what? He was a perfectionist. And it shows. I mean, Star Trek is another one, like Lucille Ball's show. Star Trek is going to be around for the next 50 years or 100 years. As long as there's going to be something you can watch it on, people are going to be watching it. And they get, even if you've seen the episodes 100 times, you always find something new on it.
Yeah, it's played every day here on some channel. You can always watch it.
Well, same here. I watch it almost every night.
Yeah, I do. And then weekends